Hey, what's going on, everybody? I tell you, we keep bringing you more and more information, and I'm so excited about this segment that we're going to be introducing because I have someone who is well versed in the travel space, and she is the CEO of Black in Travel, and she is known to all of us as Nubia. And you're where you are. Where are you now?
Currently in Playa del Carmen, Mexico.
So you actually have created Black in Tulum, is that correct?
Yeah, so Black in Tulum is a community for melanated travelers coming to Tulum, Mexico. And we host 5 events a week for our Black travelers. And we are going strong. We're in our third year, and it's just been amazing. And Black in Travel is just the level up to that.
All right. Well, this piece that we're going to be introducing to everyone, we're going to be bouncing ideas because we're in this travel space, and we're going to be sharing information that can help you navigate, I guess, your travel journey and how you can take advantage of a lot of specials and offers and deals that are out there where you can save a lot of money, you can have a lot of travel experiences, and you can just add this to your life portfolio. And so today we're going to talk about the difference between a stopover and
Mm-hmm.
a layover. Because
Yes.
I have a layover, I have a 24-hour layover. Or right.
Well, technically, once you're at 24 hours, it's a stopover.
Ah,
And that's the big difference is a lot of people don't realize and don't know about stopovers. So the thing about a stopover is when you have a extended layover, right? Most people, when they book their travel, they're trying so hard to get to their destination in a timely fashion, right? They're like, what's the shortest layover? I
mhm.
don't want to be in the airport for 8 hours. I don't want to do this. Like, how do I shorten the amount of time? There's a couple of things to think about when you're looking at layovers versus stopovers. If you're going to have an extended vacation and you want to get more out of your vacation, why not stop in another country on the
Hmm.
way? So there are so many airlines that offer free travel. And when I say free travel, let's say, for instance, Qatar Airlines. Qatar is one of the top 3 or 5 airlines in the world, right? Stellar service, impeccable food,
Yeah.
and all of the things. I mean, premium. Their flights lay over in Doha. A
Ooh,
lot of people don't know much about Doha, but
yeah.
you can actually do a free stopover up to 96 hours where it doesn't impact the price of your current travel. So instead of going to Doha for 8 hours, if anybody's ever been to Doha, even the airport is badass.
Airport is the best. Turkey's airport is nice too. Istanbul is nice, but Doha is something special.
Yes. So the thing about it is, like, Qatar offers up a free stopover in Doha up to 96 hours. And from there, sometimes the airport or the airline will give you free hotel. A lot of people don't know that. If you stay for under 2 days, like 24 or 48 hours, you can sometimes get free hotel stay from the airline.
I did
And
that in Dubai. I did that. Emirates had
Emirates,
you go, and it was like a 24-hour layover, and I did it twice because it was a round trip.
yep.
And so I got 2 days. They fed me, nice hotel, the tour, all of that. And
For free,
yeah,
right? I mean, come on. How can you not utilize these wonderful benefits that are offered to you? So not only did you go to your destination, you were able to check out Dubai on the airline. And it's such a great way for those countries to get tourists to kind of see what they're offering.
how does somebody find these stopover deals? Because do they just advertise them, or where would somebody look for them?
So that's the thing. They don't advertise them. Stopovers usually happen for long haul travel for the most part. So there are certain airlines that do offer it. And I believe that people should just do their due diligence and ask. You're not necessarily going to find stopovers with domestic airlines like Deltas and Uniteds and things like that. It's usually a lot of the, yeah. It's usually a lot of
spirit in there.
Well, you mentioned Emirates. Emirates is another one, right? But what people don't realize is you can actually stop over in Milan and or Dubai. So if you're going from New York to Thailand on Emirates, let's say, and there's a layover in Milan, you can actually stop over in Milan.
But how would somebody find it out? They need to call the airline, or they just look at their layover.
They'll look at their layover.
See how long it is, because once you get over a certain time limit, international law, some sort of law requires them to give you accommodations. If the layover is longer than 18 hours or something like that, or 20 hours, then they're required to give you some sort of accommodation or some sort of compensation.
Correct. There you go. That's another one, right? So look at your layover. Instead of grumbling about a long layover, look at how you can make it longer. And see if the layover is an overnight layover. I don't like overnight layovers because you don't get to do anything but right? You want to maximize that time. You want to maximize your energy. So my thing is, can I get to that city in the morning? And if so, how early? And from there, let me see how many hours I can get out of the day. Turkey's beautiful for this, right? Turkish Airlines gets you sometimes in Turkey at like 8 a.m. and the layover may be like 12, 18 hours. You might not have to do a stopover. You might just go into the city for the day, have breakfast, go check out a excursion or something, have lunch, and then come back to the airport. That might be enough for you. If not, and you want to check out the city, ask the airline if you can do a stopover or check other flights for longer stays.
So the key is looking for a longer stay. And then with that, then you can take it, and because that's what I did. I mean, when I was going from DC to Ghana, I could have gone a more direct route, but I decided to go to Dubai on Emirates. That's where I got the layover. Stopover, I should say. The long layover was turned into a stopover, and then that round trip ended up becoming me being able to see Dubai pretty much for free. Mm-hmm. And then, just added to the experience. So yeah, because a lot of people, I've heard people talk about it, the long layovers and then the stopovers. I did a stopover in Ethiopia, but it was at night.
Yeah, the nighttime ones are so difficult, especially for a woman of color traveling solo, right? I don't like landing in countries at night. Right. I'd rather land in a country during the day where I feel like I'm at my best. I can see things and talk to people. There's people around. Landing in a foreign country as a woman of color, not familiar with that country, and I'm landing there at night, I just don't feel comfortable. Right. So I'm always searching. And how do you search for flights, Jay? I go to Google Flights.
Well, Google Flights, I'll check all of them, all the different platforms just to see. Sometimes I'll go to the airline. Sometimes I'll check the traditional, like the Expedias and the Priceline, just to see what options are available.
Okay.
So there's so many different ways, but Google Flights is definitely one option.
I'm a quick Google Flight girl. I just like to go to Google Flights and see what's there. I also, like you, go to the airline directly sometimes for the most part. I try not to use other third-party places only because if I have an issue, I'd rather had just wanted to book directly with the airline because, having a third party and coming up with, I don't care if it's a baggage issue, this issue, it's a headache.
Yes.
So those hot wires and price lines and all that, I don't necessarily use those for flights.
Yeah, because you can run into a lot of challenges, especially if they don't communicate to the airline directly, you can find out that you've booked the trip and the airline doesn't even have your ticket.
Correct.
Because I had that happen in Zimbabwe, and I was like, whoa, right. So I had to buy another ticket right there on the spot because Priceline didn't do what they were supposed to do and communicate with the airline, or maybe the airline didn't. There was some sort of miscommunication between the two. So I'll use Priceline sparingly, or I may use it like for domestic or something like that, or if I'm doing something. But as far as the international, I definitely try to avoid it as much as possible, just because you don't know what the communication is like.
Yeah. So for me, I just go to Google Flights. And then when you look at the flights, the great thing I like about Google Flights is also sometimes I book my travel impulsively and I don't really have a destination. I just kind of put in my home city, right, that I want to fly out of. And I hit explore and it shows me all the flights to different places in the world from where I'm leaving from. And I can put in dates or I can put in months. So I'll be like, okay, for the month of August, what's going on? Where can I go? And can I get a flight for under $1,000 to go somewhere? And I'll look and I'll just scroll on the world map and it shows me I can fly to Spain or I can fly to, different parts of Europe or whatever. And I basically book my travel like that.
Yeah, that's interesting because I have not tried that. And I think I will just say, oh, where do I feel like going? I just Google Flights just take me away. Remember the old thing, Calgon? So Google Flights, take me away.
If you have the adventure and you have the time, why not? Sometimes our destination that we think we want to be in can be the reason why we're not traveling, right? Because it could be so expensive in that season. And you're just like, well, I'm not going to get there. So why not check out another place that's either a neighboring place or another place that was on your bucket list, but you didn't realize that flights to that place is a lot cheaper than the place you really wanted to go. Yeah. But if we were to get back to stopovers real quick, like can you share a little bit about your stopover in Dubai? Like, what did that really consist of? Because Dubai is one of the best places for the longest ass layover or a good old stopover.
Yes, well, it consisted of me doing a tour. I went to Dubai Mall, and that mall is the largest mall. It's one of the largest. I think there's some in
I know.
Yeah, it is huge. I mean, I literally got tired walking around. There's an ice skating rink in it, like 2 or 3 food courts. I'd never seen anything like it. I was able to get on the train, and I didn't realize that they sectioned the train off by gender. So I'm just used to getting on the train. And then I hop on the section that was supposed to be for like ladies. And I got on there and everybody was looking at me like, and then I saw the section for the men. They were all sitting on the floor and all. I say, oh, let me just kind of scoot on back over here because I got all the nasty looks. But it was cool. The train was definitely one of the top, as far as technology-wise, city trains that I've been on. Went to the Burj. Went to the top of the Burj.
The Burj Khalifa.
Yeah. Went to the top.
Tallest building in the world. Yeah.
That's right. And the ears popping as you're going up, and then you get up there and you're looking around. You're like, wow, this is really up here. I mean, it was a really special experience. Then I went out to the beach and went to do some shopping. Of course, did the city tour. And they gave me the hotel, had the food. It was a really nice experience, and it prompted me to say I want to go back again. Easy to get in, easy, no difficult visa process. I was able to exchange my money. I think is it dinar? Is that what it is? I forget what it is. With the currency, it's been able to flow, and nobody bothered me, and went on about my business.
But that was the key point. What you just said. Now that I've gone and I had such a good time, I want to come back. That is exactly why these, tourism boards work with the airlines to give you stopovers. The point is to give you a taste so you can come back. so you can come back as a full-fledged tourist. But the stopover actually gives you the opportunity to get another vacation within a vacation. And like I said, Dubai is one of the best. You did almost everything that you could do in Dubai in the city in a short amount of time, in 24 hours, right? Yes, the mall, they need to actually give people golf carts, because that mall is like 8 levels, it's the size of like a football field. And not only does it have a ski resort inside, it has an aquarium inside, it has, so many things just inside of that mall. You don't have to leave there for the whole day, and literally amazing. But also Etihad, right? Etihad lays over in Abu Dhabi, where the prince lives, so the sheikh. And you can go see their beautiful palaces in Abu Dhabi, right? And go to the Ritz-Carlton and get like high tea or something. Icelandair is amazing because you can stop over in Iceland for up to a week, 7 full days in Iceland. And what people don't realize is Iceland is one of the most expensive places to travel outside of Tokyo, right? It's expensive. But imagine being able to go to Iceland for free.
Right. I'm paying attention. I'm now thinking. I didn't have Iceland on my list, but hey, if I can get up there and take a look at it and go for free, because they have the lagoon there, right?
The Blue Lagoon. And guess what? That's a part of the stopover tours. So sometimes these airlines have actual tours that they put together for stopovers. So for instance, I'll give you one smaller one, Panama City. If you're on TAP Portugal, Copa Airlines, a couple of different airlines that stop over in Panama, the stopovers are typically somewhere above 6 hours. I won't say stopover, I'm sorry. Layovers are about 6 hours. Okay. So they actually add certain tours that you can take for free in the city that the airline will help you coordinate. So once you book your ticket, you contact the airline and say, hey, I have a long layover. Do you have any tours available to put me on? They'll pick you up at the airport, take you on the tour. The one in Panama, they take you to the Panama Canal, right? It's one of the world's best engineering platforms in the world, right? Systems in the world, how to get the ships through the canal. They take you to the Panama Canal. I think there's like a place for lunch and all that. And then they take you back to the airport. Doha, same thing. They have a Doha tour that they take you around the city. Most Doha layovers are over 6 hours. Now, once you have a stopover, transportation sometimes is either on your own. If you upgrade to like a business class, you can get a chauffeur sometimes to pick you up at the airport and take you to destinations in and around the city as a part of your ticket.
Yeah, they had the black car experience when I went to Dubai.
Yes.
And I actually stayed at the Emirates Hotel. So it was a really, really nice experience.
You had an experience.
Yeah, I had an experience in Dubai. Now you got me thinking I'm ready to go back, but I'm going to start investigating the stopovers. I did, one of my favorite countries is Ethiopia. Mm-hmm. And I've been there before during non-stopover times. But they do, I know Ethiopian Airlines, they do have an emphasis on tourism. They really push it when you're on the plane. And I know that if you get there during a particular time of the day, you can take advantage of a stopover that is more time friendly, because mine was overnight. They did take us to the hotel and feed us, and that was pretty much it. Then it was time to go back to the hotel. I didn't get a chance to do much on that one, but I know they have other ones, and you can extend it because that's something that Ethiopian Airlines will allow you to do. So, well, this is fascinating. And I know the people watching right now are coming up with ideas. Any final tips as we wrap up this segment as far as what somebody should do, a stopover versus a layover?
Well, utilize your time. Look at where you're going and how much time do I want to spend? If you're only taking a vacation for 4 or 5 days, a stopover might not be best for you. And just a few hour layover, just think about and map out your time wisely, right? So you can get the bang for your buck and the most out of your travels. It's not for everybody, but if you can get a free stopover, why not? And if you can't, now you have at least the knowledge to be able to maybe do that for your next time you go somewhere, and maybe split your vacation in half and do a 3-day stopover somewhere and a 3 or 4-day vacation in the destination where you're going to. Either way, it's a win-win. Can't beat it. And we'll give you a list of airlines that actually offer, some stopovers, because you'll be surprised at how many offer stopovers.
Well, I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised because I'm looking forward to more stopovers, more layovers, and the whole nine, and taking advantage of it and making the most of my travel time. And that's what we want you to do. Make sure you take advantage of the most of your travel time with these travel nuggets that we're dropping your way. We're talking to Nubia from Black in Travel, and we're going to be back with more travel nuggets as you learn more and more about the travel experience, how you can save, how you can find deals, how you can maximize your points, how you can maximize your miles, all of that on the way. So stay tuned. The Adventures of Darren and Destiny. And Darren and Destiny are twin brother and sister, and you go on their adventures throughout the African diaspora, meaning so African diaspora destinations, primarily focused in Africa, but we go to South America, we're going to go to the Caribbean. Their first book is going to take you to Ghana, and then we're going to go on a safari, and from there we're going to go to Ethiopia, and then we go to Salvador, Brazil. And what the goal is to be able to inspire curiosity in the continent of Africa in our children from a very young age, and to really tell a more accurate story. Most of our children are exposed to negative images, late night infomercials about how bad things are, everybody's sick, everybody's poor, everyone's uneducated, but that's simply not true. So what Darren and Destiny and their family do is they go to different African destinations. They are learning about these different places. You're beginning to see positive images, but still telling the truth. I mean, that's the important thing, to tell the truth about some of the things that have occurred. But it's all done on our children's level, so they begin to understand it. And it begins to pique their curiosity. They begin to learn more. And hopefully one day they will want to explore and visit the continent of Africa and its many countries. There's just so much that Darren and Destiny are able to do, and as they're doing it, it's like they begin to open the minds of a new generation, and they don't get bombarded and indoctrinated with negativity. They're actually able to see positivity and inspiring images and messages about the African diaspora, as well as those who are still indigenous to the continent of Africa, and they begin to learn more and just see things differently. So I'm excited about introducing the Adventures of Darren and Destiny.